Hi everyone, welcome to the WebDriver Day 9 session. And in the previous tutorial, we learned about the using assert. So this session is going to be continued session from the previous session. So this is day 8 WebDriver. What I will do is I will just copy the same project and copy paste, so that I can create another folder, another project with some different name. So I will say day 9 WebDriver multiple element, because it is just continued session, but I'm creating a separate project so that you can have a backup of your day wise code. Okay. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so what I was saying is this is just a continued session, and I will say day 09 WebDriver multiple element with the same code. I will be just continuing the same script only. All right, so let's give a run, to this script and see if this script is still working. Right click, run as test-ng test. This is the way we run test-ng test. Okay. I think it's running on Mozilla Firefox, so let's wait for that Firefox to launch. Okay. Yeah, the icon, which is shown here tells you that, okay, this browser is controlled remotely. This is a remotely controlled browser. That means some automation is going on in this browser. So this is just for security reason. And you can see that iPhone is searched. To the left hand side, you will see that iPhone logo, and there is a list of different products with again the showing 1 of 24 of 1 to 24 of 4,159 count. This count is varying depending on the database and some mechanism which is written to filter out the product. There is a question from Farhan. Sir, it can work on Chrome driver as well. We fixed it yesterday. Yeah, the script can work on Chrome driver as well. I think I already showed you a demo. So just write Chrome and Chrome driver.exe here. Okay, and instead of Firefox driver, just launch Chrome driver. That's the only thing which we need to change, and this script should run as it is. So I'm just running it by right click, run as test-ng test. Something is wrong. Let me find out what is wrong. The driver executable, I think I did some mistake. WebDriver.chrome, and there is a typo here. It has to be Chrome driver.exe. Okay, let's run. WebDriver.chrome.driver and the path to the Chrome driver exe. So I corrected my mistake, and as you can see, the browser is getting launched with the flip card. You can change the size of the window. So initially it will show you a pop-up for login. I'm just closing it, searching for iPhone, To the left hand side, you can see iPhone logo, and the message is shown as one of 24 of 137 results for iPhone. This number is varying. Flipkart is having some logic behind how to, which number has to be shown, something like that. But right now, I don't want to test that. What I want is, I want that showing 1-24 text to be displayed. The test case is obviously getting failed because this is the expected text, but actual text I'm getting something different. So what I'm going to say is I will change my expected text. So instead of saying exactly match to this, I will change that to I will just remove this thing, or you can use the regular expression for matching. So let me use a regular expression. If you want to match some format or something, you can always go with the regular expression. So in my case, I will just comment this out. Contains is okay. I want to keep this assertion that text should be containing iPhone. But before that, I want to say that assert. Just wait for a few seconds because it's loading that the methods which are there already in the assert class. So it's taking time, and this is the first time, right? We open a project and then first time we are writing something. So assert true, okay? And assert true means you need to pass true value, then only my test case will be pass. If you are passing other than true, that means test case will get failed. So what I'm going to say is, let's say this is the element. On that element, I want to read the text. Get text is the method that will help me to read the text. And on that text, I will say matches. Matches is a method that is coming from a string, and the matches method can be applied, to compare some regular expression with your text. So I'm going to say that matches. The regular expression I will specify is the complete string. It's the complete string with at this number, I will say dot star. Dot star means, right? Dot star means anything, which is in between this. Result for iPhone is also fine. You can keep slashes, that should be fine. Invalid format or something, if it is a regular expression, it's mostly comparing the formats, right? You can use the regular expression for comparing DD, MM, YY, or you can use the regular expression to check whether that email address is valid, or there are many different purposes why we for which you can use the regular expression in automation testing. I'm just making a very simple use of regular expression. I wanted to check that the text which is coming is matching with this one. It has to be showing 1-24 of something, then results for iPhone in a double quote. This is the syntax. This is the expression. I'm checking with. This is the format I want to see. Invalid format. This is the failure message. It is optional. We already learned in yesterday's session. Even though if you don't give, still it is fine. But it's always good practice to give that failure message. Okay, it's always a good practice. So that failure message will be added into a test result if the test case getting failed. So now I want to check, what is going to happen with my test case. So let me run that. Right click, run as test-ng-test, and let's wait for that browser to launch and run the test case. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Okay, so right now the count is shown 4,169. Come back to the test case, and I see there is a still failure in the test case. I'm not so sure why it is failed, but what it says is test search fail, expected true but found false. Now, why is this happening? Let's find out. It says assertion error, expected was true but actually found is false, and it is time to find out which line this got failed. So when you get under the results of running class Flipkart automation, you get a full stack trace. This is known as a stack trace of exception. The exception is assertion error, okay, and this is message. So from the stack trace, just find out which is our class. So our class is Flipkart automation dot. This is our class name, the method name, file name is this, and line number is 32. If you double click here, if you double click here, this is the line which got actually failed. So as you can see that the optional parameter is search text was not containing, or you can say did not contain containing iPhone. Okay, search text was not containing iPhone. So now I have added the text. Next time if the test case is getting failed, the message will come properly as search text was not found. So that becomes easy to identify whether what exactly failed and what was expected in actual way. So I'm not so sure that why is this happening, but let us see. Let's debug this. I want to debug it. So I added a breakpoint. This is my breakpoint. You can add one more breakpoint. Let's say I want to add a breakpoint at this line. Just double click it. This point you see is a breakpoint. Okay, I'm teaching you how to debug, right? So add a breakpoint, right click. Instead of run as, I will say debug as. Okay, I want to debug this test case. So I'm saying debug as test-ng test. Okay, same time what I will do is, okay, let's wait until that execution comes to the breakpoint, that debug point. Okay, iPhone is searched, the search result is displayed. If you go to the Eclipse, Eclipse having a option saying confirm switch, it will ask me to switch a perspective. So just say yes, I want to switch a perspective to debugging. Perspective means the view, how that Eclipse will look like. So this is a debug view, and the debug view you see a debug option, right hand side you see variable, breakpoints, sometimes you see expression also, you can add that. Here you see a code, and then the console is there. So this is the debug view. If you don't want this outline, you can just close it. What I will do is I will just I will reduce the size of my browser so that you guys can see that what is there in the browser. Now I'm saying F6. I want to execute this one line. This is the line on which this line is not yet executed. If you say F6, so it's function F6, that one line got executed, and after that execution just mouse over through that variable and see what is the value. It is true. True, it means that that element, some element which we gave a locator as great deals on iPhone was displayed. That means this image. Okay, that image is having attribute as alt equal to great deals on iPhone. So it is displayed. See again, I'm just mouse hovering on this here on the element, and you see true value. This is one option. Other option is you can go to the variable tab. This is the variable name, and this variable is containing a value as true. Okay, so that is another option. You can verify the value of variable. If you want to change the value, you can do that. Just go here, edit it, say false. Okay, sorry, my bad. Sorry, edit it here. Just go double click and change the value. There is an option you can see to change the values, but I will keep it true. I don't want to fail this test case, right? So I'm going to say F6 again. F6 means execute this line as well. Okay, that line got executed. Now I will execute the next line. I will say F6. Okay, I got that web element object. I got this web element object. If you mouse over, you will see something. It is Chrome driver, Chrome on XP. Don't worry about that XP. And it is tag name is H1 something. So I have that web element. Now I wanted to only execute this line, I wanted to only execute this line, one line, again I will say F6, function F6. So that line got executed and the execution is jumped to the next line. That means my assertion got passed. Okay, if the assertion is getting failed, then execution will not come to the next line. Now I will say again the get text dot contains iPhone, So I will say F6 again, function F6, and see the value contains containing value false, but ideally it should be containing true. Okay, see, contains is having value as a false, but it has to be true because great deals on iPhones is containing iPhone word. So I'm not sure. Let me do some advanced debugging. I will say Control Shift I. So the value I'm getting is result for iPhone. Can you see that? What is happening here? That iPhone is written in the lowercase, IPHONE, but the code which I have given here is it is in caps. Okay, so P is in caps. So I got my mistake. I can actually make that iPhone's P to small case. Guys, on the web page you can see it is capital, but in HTML it might be a small case. Okay, so just follow the HTML whatever you have. So I'm going to say terminate, or other option is restart. So if you're restarting, then I don't need this browser, even not this one also, and not this one also. So this is the browser, and I'm still in a debug mode. I said restart, so it will still jump down in the debug mode. There are many breakpoints. This is first breakpoint, and this one is second breakpoint. Let's wait until that execution comes to that first breakpoint. As you can see, that line is selected with the light green background. That means execution has reached on this line. Now I can say F6, 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 to continue line by line, but I know that there is nothing wrong in this line, and I just wanted to check this one line. So if you want to jump execution from one breakpoint to the next breakpoint, the shortcut key is F8. Okay, so generally we use these two shortcut keys, F6, F6 for the line by line execution, and if you want to jump your test case execution, or want to say that continue test case execution, what we do is we simply say F8. Okay, so this time I will say F8 because I knew that there is nothing wrong in between this code. So I will say F8. Now I will say F6, running one line only, and see the value in contains. What is that contains having value? The contains having value as a true, and this is what is expected because assert true, and there I am passing true. That means my test case will get passed. So this time I will say F8. F8 means continue execution. So the execution continued. You see the result. It is passed now. I fixed our issue. There are few questions I see on the chat window. So how you check the iPhone is in small? I check that iPhone by using this. I just check what is the value written by getText. So in debug mode, select this much code, and I set Control Shift I. Okay, this is advanced debugging. You may not be able to do that in the first stage if you are learning Java for first time. But if you already know debugging, then it will be easy for you. So Control Shift I is the shortcut key. You just have to select that portion of a code, piece of a code, and say Control Shift I. So it will be executed, and you can see the outcome. The next question. Okay, another option is, go to that. See which element I was locating. I was locating. See the element which I located. I located an element which H1, right? So that H1 means you see that this is the H1, right? You remember H1 element? See, this was the H1 element. Okay, see, this is the H1 element, and that H1 is actually containing a text as, oops, this is the H1 text, see. So it has that iPhone in lowercase. Okay, it is displayed on screen as well, lowercase. But if you want, you can go here and read the HTML as well. So in HTML also it is in lowercase. Okay, so this is the way you can get the inner HTML, or see the text of a tag. Let me check any other questions. It is in small case only. We are verifying search line. Yeah, Sunil, you are right. It is in small case. My bad. I thought we are checking the text on present here, but I was wrong. We are checking at this line only. And in debug mode, you know how to get it. It's very easy. Just while execution, in debugging mode, see, this is the code which is actually supposed to return the text. So just select this code and say Control Shift I. As soon as you say Control Shift I, this piece of a code will be executed just for time being, okay? And that will show you the return value. All right, so we are not verifying the hyphen logo. Yeah, right, Sunil, thanks. Let me know if you still have any other questions. I can answer those questions. Okay. Now let's move on to the next part. If you see this, now I want to read all the products. So Chrome browser shows different products, right? One product is Selenium, Apple iPhone SE, that is 32 GB, Apple iPhone 6, 32 GB, Apple iPhone SE, 32 GB model rose gold, Apple iPhone 7 black, 32 GB. So it shows different Apple iPhone products. You see that there is a huge list of Apple products. You can see that there is a huge list, and I wanted to read the title. I wanted to read the title of all this product and just print that title on the console. Okay, so how to do that? As we know, if you want to do, if you want to read a text, if you want to do click or anything, the very first thing what we need is we need a locator to that element. But in this case, this is a title. This is like title of each product. I wanted to identify the title of each product. So I will require a locator which is common for all of these titles. Okay, so just inspect it. Okay, I will use my other browser, which is easy to inspect actually. Right click, inspect. Okay, so here it is shown, but what I will do is I will just take out this inspect window out of my main browser. This is the button. You can say undock into separate window. So that's my separate window. Okay, so this is the div. Okay, and it has some class. Let me check if that class is unique. Control F dot class name. So how many matching elements found, guys? Can anyone tell me how many matching elements are there? So yeah, you guys are right. The count is actually 24, and at the top also you can see showing 1 of 24. Okay, but there is again one trick. But I see some questions on chat window. There is a question from Sunil that how to jump previous line while debugging. You cannot you cannot go back to the previous line of execution. You cannot debug in this way. You can only debug in a forward way. So F8 is to continue the test case execution as like a normal execution. So if there is any further breakpoint, it will jump the execution to that breakpoint. Hope I answered your query. But there is a way, drop to frame you can use for again starting the debugging from your method or something. But maybe for a beginner session this will be a little bit difficult to understand. So just skip that part. All right, so come back here. What I'm going to do is on this web page, I will just reload the page. Okay, I'm reloading a web page. Okay, the page is loaded. It is still looking like the same web page. Coming back here, and I will use the same class. Okay, it's n. So the same class, it is showing me 1 of 24 elements found. Okay, but guys, it is not really necessary that it has to be 24. I will tell you, there is one case, 24 elements are not displayed, only 10 elements are displayed, and then after some time waiting, you need to wait for some time, and then it will show 24 elements. I can show you that again. Let me try it. So let's say 0 0 0. Okay, it's still show. Okay, it is 24 now. It's my mistake. It was not loading. Okay, no worries. We'll do in automation. So you can use this locator. This is a class name. I will copy that. Go to the Eclipse. Java EE. Sorry guys. I was into a debug perspective. You see this debug button. I have to switch into Java so that it is like better UI. You can go to Java or Java EE. Anything is fine. Go to Java. Increase the window size. Yeah, that way. So here what I will do is, after this assertion, I'm going to say that driver dot find element. Okay, so find element, this method takes a parameter of object of by and it returns a web element, right? But there is another method, you can see that, find elements. So if you want to work with a multiple elements, matching to one locator, so you can call this method find elements. Okay, and to that find elements method, just pass on the locator. So I'm saying by dot class name. The class name is already copied. All right, so this is the way you can use find elements. It is not find element. Now the difference is, find elements, what is the return data type of find element? The return type is list of web element. List of web element. Guys, we have already learned collection topic, like list of integer, list of string, and different collections that we learn. So driver.find element, this is going to return actually list of web element. So as it is returning a list of web element, you should be storing it into some object, right? So let me create an object of list of web elements. So list, oh my bad, list control space. List has to be imported from the java.util package. All the collection classes are present in java.util. So list of web element. Okay, and let's say all products elements. I will say all products elements, or you can say all product elements. So this is a list of all product element. Only thing is you need to add semicolon. So if you simply write web element, see this example, web element equal to driver.find element, because this is returning only one element. If that locator is matching with multiple elements, then find element method will return the first matching element. It will not return you all the elements. If you want to read all the elements from your web page which are matching to your locator, the simple solution is just use this method, find elements, and it returns list of web elements. Just store that as a list object. All right, so I got a list. Now I will print SYSO. Oops, sorry, SYSO. I want to print the size of that list, total products count. I want to print the total product count. And right, this is a list object. On the list object, I can call size method. So size method tells me that how many items, how many web elements are present in my list. So size actually returns an integer number. So I just printed that size. Let's say you want to print the title, you want to print the text of all elements. So I'm writing for eyes, just say for control space enter, for int I is equal to 0, I is less than the size, the size is all products dot size. So I is less than size, I plus plus. This is my for loop. So if I is equal to 0, that means first element, second element, that way, it will go till the size minus 1 element. So I want to print the title, I want to print the title. So I'm saying title plus, this is list of all elements, it contains element. I want to get the first element. So in list, we already learned collections topic. In list, we have a get method. So I will call get method, and which takes the number, get 0, get 1, get 2, that way. So I'm saying get method, I will say 0. Sorry, 0 means I actually, this I variable. So for first time it will be get 0, get 1, next time it will be get 2, get 1, next time it will be get 2, and that way. So get method is actually going to return me object of web element from the list. So I will get web element. Okay, but what exactly I want is, I want the text of my web element. Okay, as I want to read a text of element, so I'm calling on that web element, I will call get text method. You see this get text method? So I'm calling get text method. So get text method will actually return me the string. String means the text of that element. Okay, so again I'm repeating quickly. All product element is the list of web element. I wrote a for loop that will iterate one by one. So from that list, I'm getting the item 0, item 1, item 2, like that. And on every web element, so it will return me web element. On every web element, I'm calling a method get text. Get text is going to return me the text of that element. Okay, I hope it is clear. Let me know if you still have questions. I can repeat for you. Let me run this code. Right click, run as test-ng test, and see how many products count is printed with their text, the product title as well. All right, so come back here and see the execution is still waiting, and it is printing the product size. How much is that product? Can you see that products are 24? It is showing you all the products from the web page. The product count is 24. Okay, but guys, let me tell you one thing from my practical experience. Sometimes it just returns 10 count. Okay, not 24. So sometimes Flipkart only loads first 10 product, and then it loads another 14 products. So, but in this case it is waiting. The delay is little bit more, so automatically 24 products are loaded first. Let's see, internet is slow or something, then it will only show 10 products and the list of 10 products. But if everything goes fine, then obviously it will show you 24 products. Or if it is not showing 24 products, you might have to add thread.sleep, like wait for seconds method. Last time we created this method. If you want, you can add this wait for seconds. Just add 2 or 3 seconds wait. That should be enough to load all the 24 products. So this is the way I got all the products, and every product is containing iPhone word in the result. Okay, can you see that? Every product is containing iPhone word in the result. Let's say I want to check that every product is containing iPhone word or not. Okay, so what I can do is I can add assert true, because I want to call contains method, and contains return true or false, boolean. It is not assert equal. So contains true, and then I will first take the text. This is the text, which is the title. That I will say string title equal to this. Let me increase the size of the browser Eclipse. So I said string title is equal to all products dot get 0, get 1, the number, and I'm saying get text. And here, instead of again calling that method, I will say title is title, and in the assertion I will say title contains, I want to say that, is it containing iPhone? It must contain. Let's see, if I'm searching for iPhone, then search result must be containing iPhone. Let's see if there is no iPhone word, then there might be a bug that Flipkart is loading some other irrelevant products which are not really related with iPhone search keyword. So title.contains iPhone, and let's say if this assertion gets fail, I will add as assertion as search result not containing iPhone word. Okay, this is the failure message. If this failure message will be added into report only if the search result was not containing the iPhone, only if this assertion is getting failed. Okay, and you may want to add some more display, product title. I will print the title also. This is the complete failure message. I just use a string concatenation and I created a big failure message statement. So this is the way, now let's say, I will just add one more thing. Let's say, at the 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say fourth element is not containing iPhone. Then what will happen is the automation script execution, because I have used assert, this assert will fail at the fourth I is equal to value 3, at the fourth iteration, and test case will be failed and it will stop the test case execution. But let's assume that even though there is a failure at the fourth product, still you want to continue and check all the products, and at the end you can decide whether to pass a test case or fail a test case. So for that we use a SoftAssert. Let me tell you what is SoftAssert. So by default the assert class which you use, this assert class is known as a hard assert. Hard assert, it means if this hard assert gets fail, it will stop your test case execution and will mark the test case as fail. Whereas soft assert is little bit flexible. Okay, so soft assert is a class coming from TestNG. Let me import that. I'm not sure why it is not getting imported. Yeah, it is there. See, SoftAssert from org.testng.asserts. I will create object of SoftAssert. Let's say assert equal to new SoftAssert. I just created object using a default constructor. Okay, I don't think there is any constructor overloaded. No, there is no. There is simply a default constructor. And this hard assert I will replace with a soft assert. Okay, now what will happen is this is soft assert object, okay, not a class. And at the end, after the loop, I will say soft assert dot assert all. Okay, so what is going to happen at this stage is, even though there is a failure, still my for loop will continue. Still, the execution will continue till the last product. And once the loop is completed, the next line which I have written is soft assert. This is like probably the last line in my automation script. Soft assert dot assert all. That means it will check if any one of the product out of 24 product is failed. Okay, if any one of the soft assertion failed out of 24 product, then this soft assert all method will fail the test case and stop execution. Oops. Will fail the test case and will stop the execution. Okay, only if any one of the assert from the 24 product is getting fail, only then it will fail the test case and will stop the test case execution. All right, I hope it is clear. But let's say if there are 3 products fail, so then assert all will fail the test case, adding the failure message into report. So if you guys know already Selenium IDE has a verify statement kind of thing. So verify statement, even though if it is failed, still it allows to continue the test case execution. It is the same way. Soft assert, it means even though the assertion is failed, still it will continue the test case execution till assert all method is not called. Till the time assert all method is not called, till the time it will continue the execution. But assert all, as soon as assert all is executed, it will check if any failure is there. If there is any at least one failure, then assert all method is going to mark your test case as fail and will stop the test case execution. So let me run the test case and see the outcome. Let me know if you guys have any questions while this test is running. We can discuss the question and answers. Okay, I search for iPhone. There are 24 products are displayed. Come back to the Eclipse. See, it is printing all the product list, and the test case got passed because there is no single product which is not containing iPhone. Every product of 24 items, it is containing iPhone in their title. So this is it. So today we learn how to work with a multiple element. So always remember driver.find elements returns list of web element, and this list you can traverse using a for loop or for each loop. It depends on your choice, what you like to do. And that is one thing we learn, how to work with a multiple elements matching to one locator, as well as we learn how to use a soft assert. In the previous session we learned about hard assert, and today we learn about soft assert. Soft assert also has all the methods which are there in the hard assert. For example, assert equals is there, then assert not equal is there, assert false is there, assert not null is there, assert not null. So all the 7 methods that we learned in the last session, all those methods are here. But only the difference between soft assert and hard assert is, even though soft assert is fail, still it will continue the test case execution till assert all line. And if the hard assert fail, that means assert dot something is fail, then it will stop the test case execution that line only and will not continue the test case execution. That is going to fail the test case directly, straight away. So that's all. I think this is sufficient for today. Let me know if you have any questions. We can discuss questions and answers. And thank you very much guys for attending today's session.